Wonderful networking this morning. I just want to say thank you to Jared and everyone that works here too for hosting us. And do you want to say some stuff real quick?
I can. I'll just introduce my staff really quick. So we've got Andrea Crawford over here is our patient care coordinator. Maggie McGartland is a I always say other physical therapist, and I think that's kind of rude to say it that way. She's our rock star physical therapist, so that's what I wanted to say this morning. Preston Pascal, he's a tech. He's a Burlington guy that is here helping us as a physical therapy tech. So we're glad you guys are here. We always like having people here that aren't in pain, and conversing and having a good time. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah.
Thanks for hosting us.
Yeah, you guys are very welcome.
Jared's been helping me get my wheelchair a new one, so excited to show that off. Of course, it's going to be pink. So speaking of pink, tonight is at the movie is the Barbie movie, and Jesse's going to have a little party, and so come out to that. I know Arden said he's got his pink jacket lined up, so so that's going to be exciting. Next Wednesday, the Attorney General will be here at the Cherokee Strip Museum at 2 o'clock, so make plans to attend that. Anybody have anything else they'd like to share with what's going on in your business?
I've got a couple. So Bankit this quarter is for the Cherokee Strip Museum. So if you drop by any of your banks in town, they're matching a portion of that. Most of them are. And then for the previous quarter, Northwest Domestic Crisis Center will get about $7,500 from last quarter's donations. And again, that's coming from just patrons to the bank that donate $1 to $100, whatever your budget is comfortable with. And so they'll get that much, which is very exciting. And then also from the bank side of things, I want to really throw out how important it is for everybody in banking or everybody to be aware of the scams that are going around for banking or for financial fraud. We're seeing a ton of that. So just since 2020, Alva State Bank alone has had customers duped into losing or attempting to lose over $28 million. So it's a huge sticker price. And that's actually what's happening locally. And if you talk to Central, if you talk to Community, you talk to other banks, they're having the same issue. And it's people clicking on an email that's fraud and inputting their information, and that information going out. It's getting wrapped up in investment scams or romance scams and sending money out that way. So $28 million from our community members has either gone out or been attempted to go out just for our records. So with that in mind, we have partnered with the Oklahoma Bankers Association, Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI to put on 3 different seminars for fraud. And you've missed the first 2, so the last and final one is next Friday at the Votech. It's an all-day thing. We provide lunch. And so far we've had a very low turnout, kind of like everything else. So if we could get some more community members and elderly, your family members, your friends, just to hear it, because the scams are out of control. And what we're doing at the bank is trying to be politely nosy. When you come by, we're trying to be like, hey, why are you withdrawing that money? Are you going on a trip? Because you're withdrawing that money possibly to send away, and you will not get it back, and you won't get a return on your investment. It's a complete scam. So we're trying to just educate. This next seminar next Friday is more on the cyber side of things and the computer stuff. They're going to talk a little bit about AI and what's going on with it. But again, the speakers are coming from FBI and DHS, so it's a good thing. So anyway, those are my announcements.
Is there something that if we're going to be out of town, that it can be recorded with the chamber, that you could?
This one is on Zoom, and they have recorded it on the. It's actually Metro Tech is projecting it out, and we're a satellite hub at Votech to get that information. So it's in recording when we're doing it, but they haven't given me the previous ones yet. But if I get them, I'll get them to the chamber, and we'll try to distribute them.
And what Megan is saying, Megan came over to our office, and I got some emails that look like the EFTPS, which is your payroll deposit stuff. Looked very good. Very real. And I've gotten several more. I mean, I've gotten quite a few. I don't know if they thought that because Troy passed that he was the one that was doing all the business stuff, and he wasn't. But it's, yes, And Neil's taught me to be very careful as to what you click
And
on.
we're trying to get people to understand that of all the people that you trust in your life, your banks really are the ones you've trusted for a long time, right? And we're pretty secure. We keep track of things. So anytime there's a question about, you know, a fishy email or something that comes across or a phone call you got, you can call your bank. You can call your favorite teller, and she'll have enough information to say, hey, yeah, I feel like that's a little weird. You need to not call them back. So that really, we're trying to, along with Oklahoma Bankers Association, like it's getting big enough that that's what we're trying to, your bank is your ally on any of those questions. If you have an email you want to bring in and show somebody, they'd be happy to explain what the red flags are in that email to tell you what's good and bad. So we're really trying to push that. Let your bank know what's going on and let them be your ally.
And it's amazing how subtle some of that can be, where it's just like one period out of place or something, and everything else looks very legitimate. So it's definitely keep an eye out.
I know. Oh.
An AI can clone your voice.
Yes.
Miranda said she heard Elvis Presley singing, "I love big butts and I don't know why." So we've got a safe word in our family, and I would recommend that you have safe
That's a
words
very
in
good
your
idea.
family too.
Yes. AARP gave a presentation on Medicare fraud, and so those of you in the room that are on Medicare, make sure you're looking at your EOB and your statements to make sure that you had those services provided to you. There's a COVID scam that's going around right now to where scammers are billing your Medicare for tests when they're just getting paid for it. You know, you may or may not receive the test, but they're working a bunch of cases in Oklahoma right now on that one. But that's another area of, if somebody calls and says, hey, you qualify for this back brace, you have back issues, and you say, yes, I'd like to do that, well, can I have your Medicare number? And you give it to them, you might get billed for that and never receive it, but they've got your Medicare number, so they'll bill other things to it. And then later on down the road, if you do need a back brace, Medicare may not pay for it because you already got one, even if you never received it. So.
Because we're in business and we get calls from all over the country for rentals, we have been in the practice of accepting those calls. And I think yesterday I had 6 robot calls.
Yep.
So in reading the Wall Street Journal last night, it said, let your answering machine do the work.
Yes.
Answering machines are becoming more popular now for that reason.
Yep. Yep. If you get a phone call that says Amazon on it or Apple, let them go to voicemail, and then see where it goes from there. Because most likely they're not calling you.
Today at noon, I think 11 to 1, Bushman Heat and Air they're having their 3rd-year anniversary party, so they're going to have a meal, and so guys go to that. I also want to say that Caitlin Hopen will be working with us at the chamber. Emma is going to be working at the schools, but we're so excited to start having Caitlin work. So she's already learning and already pumping out stuff, so we're excited. I'm excited. And then we're sending out ballots next week for our one position on the board. And so be checking your mail on that.
And Leadership Northwest Oklahoma is going to be having applications in
Yes.
a couple months from now.
Yes, we're going to be getting those applications.
That starts in
out.
September.
Yes.
So applications, if you've got an employee that you want to send through that program, it's an excellent program to learn about what's going on in Alva and what we have and how they can maybe begin a leadership role on boards and that sort of thing. So that's coming up. We'd love to have you submit some people.
Yes. I'll get those out soon too. So, anything else? Thank you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just going to introduce myself to everyone. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm Peyton Burns. I'm with Senator Langford's office. Senator James Langford. I'm his field representative for Northwest Oklahoma. I'm from Kingfisher originally and living in Stillwater right now. But my role is to be present in all of my communities that I'm serving. I've been around about 4 months, so this is my 2nd trip to Alva, and it's important for me to be able to know what's going on in communities, to be able to hear for concerns you might have. So please, I'll leave some cards and everything, but please reach out to me if you have any issues. I come to Alva fairly regularly for events and stuff, so I would love to know what's going on. But thank you all for having me, and you guys' chamber's great. So.
Thank you.
So classes start at Northwestern August 14th. We've got orientation that'll begin on the 8th, so we have a handful of new faculty coming in. We've got a new visual arts program, new visual arts major that we're excited about, 2 new faculty. Yeah, just going to get things going. Our enrollment compared to last year, we're up about 8%. So, and then I think it's 10% with credit hours. So it's comparable. We're excited for the new year.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much.
Yep.